Okay, back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Friday. We got a nice big slate. Real quick, let's see how we're doing currently Thursday night. So again, guys, I've really been sticking to GPPs here. So once Randall got ruled out too, there's just so much usage to go around for the Pelicans. I knew the chalky cash game approach would just be load up on the cheap Pelicans and go from there. I risked it because I really thought Washington had some big upside if the game stayed close. It did stay close, but Beal just didn't have as big of a game as I thought he would. He was pretty low owned, obviously, and then same thing with Otto Porter, shot pretty poorly, so that was kind of the downfall. Alfred Payton, I talked about him. I really liked him. I knew he'd go pretty low owned, put up 45 fantasy points. Okafor got 27. So I tweeted out. All the starters are in play, plus the two value guys I liked were Darius Miller and Cheat Diallo, who both did really, really well. Again, I was just kind of comfortable with what I went, so I just risked it, but probably not going to pay off here. I mean, I do have D Rose, Kuzma, and Rondo going, but the way it's looking, probably not going to cash because it didn't play a few more of those Pelicans. But I risked it. I really thought Beal and Otto Porter had some big upside, but they kind of disappointing games. So let's look into this slate for tonight. So we got 10 games on the docket. So again, we'll start with James Harden. Priced up all the way now to almost 14K. But, if you're playing cash games, just play Harden and then figure out the rest of your lineup and go from there. I do think there is, you definitely could fade Harden GPPs. There's always, ways he can't get you there. Maybe foul trouble, maybe an injury, maybe a blowout, something like that. So the way I think I'm going to go about this, because again, I'm just going to stick to GPPs again. If there's enough value that opens up around tomorrow that I feel comfortable with, then I'll plug and play Harden. If I'm feeling comfortable kind of in the mid-range with a lot of guys, then maybe I might go with the Harden fade. So, but that's just for GPPs. Cash games, you just lock in Harden and you move on. So that's my thoughts of that. So Donovan Mitchell here at 8.7. Has really turned the corner here. He's kind of having a disappointing start to the year, but has really turned it on, started to become the player like he was last year. Priced up now to 8.7K. Rubio's back, so that does worry me a bit, but he has been playing really good basketball, so I'm not going to talk you off him if you want to play Donovan Mitchell. Me personally, though, I don't really like paying premiums for guys. And Donovan Mitchell is priced all the way up. We haven't seen him priced up this much in a while, so I'm probably going to pass. We got D'Angelo Russell at 8.6K. I do like this game stack here with the Nets and the Knicks. Both don't play a whole lot of defense. Spencer Dinwiddie, news just came out. He's going to be out for a little bit. So that's going to secure minutes for D'Angelo Russell. This guy he's really been playing some great basketball here of late. So I think he's a pretty solid play at 8.6K. And then as well as Napier here, I think he is basically a lock and load value play with no Dinwiddie. We've seen what this guy does when he gets minutes, but close to minimum price. I think you just lock in Napier and move on. So that's kind of my thoughts with that. Doncic here, the minutes have dropped a little bit since Dennis Smith Jr. was back. He was playing right around 35, now down to about 32. That is always a concern. The Mavs just kind of frustrating. Rick Carlisle runs a deep bench. He tends to run the bench guys out there a little longer than he should. So that is the concern with Doncic. The price at 8.4K though is definitely playable. KEMBA, he's just been so up and down. I never really played Kemba Walker, but I get it. 8.1K. He definitely is in play with that price tag. The Grizzlies, so Mike Conley, Gasol, I'll get to him later. You never feel great about playing any Memphis guys. You really don't. But this is like a great matchup here against the Kings at home. So Conley, Gasol, but the two main catalysts here for the Grizzlies offense, I think are firmly in play, going against one of the worst defenses in the NBA. Kyle Lowry at 7.5, I think is okay. We got Kawhi Leonard is going to be back. So that does worry me a bit here with Kyle Lowry. I think his upside is kind of capped when Kawhi Leonard does play. Let's see. Levine. So another game stack I do like is this Bulls-Clippers game. So the thing that kind of bugs me about the Bulls here with Levine and Dunn, the minutes have just been really inconsistent. 29, 35, 25, 34. I know there have been some blowouts, but just give these young guys, the future of your team, some more run. 30, 33, 31, 27. I would feel more comfortable if they were playing 35 minutes or so. But I still think both Dunn and Levine are in play. Jamal Murray at 7.1. I understand it. The matchup's really good. But we got Gary Harris. The minutes are starting to come up there with him. Same thing with Will Barton. So that just kind of gets me off Jamal Murray. Denver basically fully healthy now, so I don't think I want to go Jamal Murray. Chris Paul, current list is questionable. They don't think he's going to play. If he does play, that's a hit to Harden for sure. Chris Paul is definitely going to be a high usage guy when he's back, but I don't expect him to be back for Friday. Lou Williams, he missed last game, or he missed in between the Utah and Dallas game. So he's played a couple games now, 23 and 21 minutes. I would like him better if he's playing 30 minutes, but maybe they bump him up a bit. So I think you could take a shot. It is kind of hard paying 6.7K for a guy out of the bench right now who's playing right around 20 minutes. But in GPPs, I think it is viable. Miami situation, I don't really trust anyone from the Heat. It's Eric Spoelstra. You can't trust him. D Rose, I know the matchup's not the best here against Utah, but if Jeff Teague's out again, we've seen what D Rose does when Jeff Teague's out. I know he did have an off game against Phoenix with no Jeff Teague. That's an outlier though. I would go back to the wall with Rose. I think it would be a pretty solid play if Teague does miss. Rubio here, not a big Rubio guy, but it is a revenge game narrative. Priced at 5.7K. I think he plays in a close game right around 30 minutes. I think Rubio is a pretty solid play here at 5.7K. Let's see, Satoransky, another game I do like, game stack, is Washington-Orlando. Satoransky, just been playing all the minutes he can handle right now. 5.5K seems a little underpriced. This guy does have some upside. He has been a little inconsistent, but the matchup here is pretty good, so I do like Satoransky a decent amount here. Moutier, current list is questionable. If he plays, I probably don't have interest. I understand 5.3K. He does have some upside, but if he does miss, then we got to look to these secondary Nick guards who it's never fun playing these guys. TREY been playing some really good basketball here of late. Put up 31 and 10 last game against Houston. But we have seen, TREY can definitely bust when given the minutes. So 4.7K, I think he is firmly in play. I think he might be pretty popular here. If he's going to be, really popular, then I'm going to get off him. But if his ownership's not going to be too high, I understand the play. And then Nicotina and Trey Burke. If Trey Burke's been out of the rotation here for a bit, Nicotina has been in the rotation, but he's a pretty low usage guy. If Moutier misses, definitely would be a boost to all three of these guys, and probably Trey Burke could be in the rotation, but I don't know if we can trust any Knicks guys. We saw Dave Fizdale did with Enes Kanter, so it'd just be tough for me to trust any Knicks guards. Let's see, so Beverley, but inserted in the starting lineup, and he's been playing all the minutes he can handle as well. Kind of had an off game here against Miami, but we have seen what he can do when he gets the minutes. I assume he's going to start again and play, 35 minutes or so. Chicago not the best defensively, so I think Beverley definitely playable here. DSJ, same thing. I definitely think he's playable. First game back, he played 37 minutes. I don't think we can expect that again. But at 4.8K, if he's going to play 30-plus minutes, you definitely have to consider Dennis Smith Jr. D-Wade, you can always play him off the bench. He is pretty productive when he's out there. So I think he's always in play. Other than that, let's see. Beasley, I don't want to go there with Barton and Harris. Minutes getting bumped up. Napier, obviously, I really, really like him with no Dinwiddie. I'm basically just going to lock in Napier. Okay, let's move on to shooting guard. So Beal, I really liked him against the Warriors. Kind of disappointing. It is back-to-back too, but I do like this game as a game stack. We've seen Beal. He's kind of playing, Harden-esque role. Just going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. Going to play most of the game. So I think Beal is a pretty solid play, and I think it's a decent pivot if you're not going to play Harden. I think Beal definitely has big upside. Devin Booker. Um, so I am worried about the blowout here. Obviously, it's at Denver. Um, if they're going to keep it close, I think it's a huge game from Devin Booker. Um, we know he has huge upside in him, so I think you could take a shot in GPPs. Definitely not cash game viable, though. Let's see. So Will Barton here at 6.1K. We saw in the minutes slowly creeping up, 23, 21, 30 minutes. It is kind of hard to trust Mike Malone sometimes, but this is a favorable matchup. I wouldn't expect 45 fantasy points again, but if we're going to see Will Barton play around 30 minutes in a good matchup, I think you definitely have to consider him here at 6.1. Hardaway Jr. at 5.9. If Moutier misses, I think he gets a little boost. He's just been so inconsistent. But this is definitely a game stackable game. Two teams don't play a whole lot of defense. Everyone in this game pretty cheap, besides D'Angelo Russell basically. So I think Hardaway is in play if you're running like a game stack. So the Phoenix guys, TJ Warren going to be out for a bit. So that's Oubre, that's Josh Jackson, and that's where is Phoenix here? So it would be Oubre, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Jackson. They get a boost here. Probably my favorite play of the three would be Josh Jackson again. He's gonna be pretty productive when he's out there. He's gonna shoot the ball a ton. So I think Josh Jackson of those three Phoenix guys will probably be my favorite. Gary Harris again. His minutes are starting to creep up there. 5K for Gary Harris. If he's gonna play around 30 minutes, also seems way too cheap. So Gary Harris, Will Barton. I'm definitely considering them today. Let's see, cheap guys. Okay, so I'm kind of going against my will here, but I hate trusting Eric Spoelstra, but it seems like Dion Waiters is back, and he's back into the rotation for good now. 22, 26, and 29 minutes the last three games. If he's going to play those type of minutes, I really like him here at 4.1K. I know it's really hard to trust Spoelstra. He runs a deep rotation, but it seems like you could take a shot here on Dion Waiters. Justin Holiday, pretty low usage guy, but he's playing like his role with Chicago Bulls, just basically playing the whole game and not doing a whole lot. So I think he's in play for salary relief. He has upside every once in a while, so I think he's okay. Okay, let's move on to small forward. So Giannis here, 10.7K. I think he's a pretty fair price. He hasn't really flashed the huge upside here in a while. We know he's got it in him. Charlotte, this is a pretty solid matchup. So I think Giannis is definitely in play. There is some blowout risk. Milwaukee has been blowing out some teams here. But I think he has a pretty solid game if the game stays close. Kawhi could be back here after resting for like 3 or 4 games or whatever. I don't know why they rested him for so long, but I'd assume they put him on James Harden. So I think Kawhi at 9.5K is a pretty solid play, and this game also is stackable. It is kind of tough with Harden with stacking the game, but Kawhi Leonard here at 9.5K is definitely in play. And then Tobias, I do like this Clippers Chicago game. Tobias with no Gallinari. He's just a very high usage guy. He had that bust game against Dallas. I'm not too worried about that. 8.2K. I still think he has some upside at this price, so I do like Tobias quite a bit. Aaron Gordon. No one ever feels comfortable playing this guy, but 6.5K makes him firmly in play, especially in a great matchup against Washington. I do like Aaron Gordon quite a bit as well. Ariza, Otto Porter, both in play again. This Washington-Orlando game looks pretty appealing. Ariza's going to play most of the game. Otto Porter's going to play a lot of minutes on the bench, so I think both those guys are definitely in play. Let's see. Knox, again, this game definitely stackable. So I think if you're going to play that game stack, I think Knox, he's been really inconsistent, but 5.2K, the price does make him in play. Let's see, cheap small forwards. Is there anyone down here? It would be Dion Waiters and Justin Holiday. Other than that, okay, so Trey Lyles would be a guy I would take a shot on here. So his minutes starting to creep up there. I know Mason Plumlee got ejected, so maybe that was why he played a few extra minutes. Cleveland, that was a blowout. Same here with Chicago. So the more I talk about it, actually, the more I'm like, I don't know if I can trust Trey Lyles. If he's going to play 20 minutes, I would love him. But again, these two games were blowouts, and then this one, Mason Plumlee got ejected. So maybe Trey Lyles probably not in play. Bridges, obviously with TJ Warren out, he should play all the minutes he can handle. Kind of a low usage guy, but I think he's in play for salary relief. Power forward, let's see here. So Blake Griffin, I would like him if Drummond does miss, but Drummond got cleared. So I'm 95% sure Drummond plays. 9.9K, if Drummond plays, I probably don't want to play Blake Griffin. MONTREZL, so he's had a couple disappointing games here with no Gallinari. But this is the game where I think he has some huge upside. I love targeting bigs against Chicago. I don't see them running Gortat out there for too long. So I think Montrez, I think he's going to go very under-owned on the slate, but I think he has some pretty big upside here at 6.7K. Markkanen, Bobby Portis, both of them seem pretty cheap here. Markkanen, his minutes seem pretty secure. They want to give him 30-plus minutes a night. So I think he's pretty solid here at 6.5K. Then Bobby Portis, minutes have been up and down, been coming off the bench. I think you definitely could take a shot here on Bobby at 5.7K. Siakam and Ibaka, I like them quite a bit when Kawhi's out. With Kawhi back, I think they're okay. I think they're solid plays, but not the best plays. Vonleh, so if the Knicks are going to go small ball and run Vonleh at the center, then I would like him a lot here at 5.9K, but I'm going to wait for a starting lineup. Maybe they start Mitchell Robinson at the 5. Maybe Enes Kanter gets back in the rotation. So I'm going to wait to see who the Knicks start until I kind of make a decision. Larry Nance, said there's a good chance he does return. I haven't heard any news, but I would assume he's on a minutes limit. So if he is, I'm going to stay away from Nance. If he's not on a minutes limit, then I definitely think he is doable here at 5.8K. Let's see, Fareed. So I've been on him the last couple games. He was really cheap at 3K and at 4.4K, 5.3K now. Does he still have some upside at this price? Yes, but I don't think he's as good as a play. If Nene misses again, then I would consider Fareed. So I think he's okay here, 5.3K. Millsap, you never feel great about playing this guy. The minutes have kind of been trending down, so I just don't think I can do that. Let's see. Bender. I understand if Aiden and Holmes do miss. He's going to play. Him and AC are going to split the center minutes. Not the best match for regular against Jokic. I'm probably going to pass there. So Plumlee, he got ejected, and the price has come down now to 3.9K. Denver seems happy giving him right around 20 minutes, so this is where you can consider him for salary relief for sure. Phoenix, obviously not the best defensive team. So I think Mason Plumlee is actually a pretty solid play here at 3.9K. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot here, so let's move on to center. So Jokic, if Phoenix keeps it close, I think he has a monster game here. We saw what Cat did to Phoenix, twice back-to-back games. We just destroyed them. So Jokic, if you think Phoenix can keep it close, I think Jokic is a great GPP play. Cat at 10K, I think he's going to go very, very low owned. Utah, a team people like staying away from. But I think we have seen centers do pretty good against Gobert. So I think you could take a shot in Cat and GPPs. Vucevic, I absolutely love playing this guy. Washington, one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. Vucevic just goes low owned every night. I know the price come up all the way to 9.7K, but I still think he's a pretty solid play here at 9.7. I'm definitely considering Vucevic. Drummond at 8.8. He's probably going to be back. I understand if you want to play him here. The price tag under 9K is kind of appealing. I kind of stay away from Detroit. I'm not a fan of playing Drummond or Blake Griffin. Let's see, Marc Gasol. So again, I brought up Mike Conley, Marc Gasol. You never feel great about playing these guys, but this would be the matchup where they both have a ceiling type game. Kings play no defense, so I think you have to consider the two main catalysts here in the Memphis offense. Whiteside, I talk about him. He has like that blow up game once every 5 to 10 games. So he just had a blow up game here. So obviously we can't expect him to have another one in a while. Price come up to 6.9K, where I'm probably not going to go there. I mean, GPPs, I understand it, but I just think there's better plays on the board. Let's see. Jarrett Allen at 5.8. I definitely think it's a pretty solid play here. Definitely this game is stackable, so we have seen he does have some pretty big upside as well. So I think Jarrett Allen definitely in play here. Let's see. Jaren Jackson Jr., he would be a secondary piece I would consider. He's been so inconsistent, but the matchup is just so good where at 5.4K, we have to consider him. Bagley, we saw him pick up a start, but Bielitsa back. I don't think he starts again. If Bagley starts again, then I would have interest in him, but if he comes off the bench, I think he's okay. So Cantor, we know what happened with Dave Fizdale. Said he was going to start him against Houston, and then he picked up a DNP CD. I'm going to wait for a Knicks starting lineup, or if news of Cantor's going to be in the rotation. If I know for sure, if I get confirmation that Cantor's either going to start or he's going to play minutes, then I absolutely love him at 4.7K going against the Nets. But you just cannot trust Dave Fizdale. So I'm only going to take a shot on Cantor if I have confirmation that he's going to play. Other than that, Biyombo, Hernangomez, splitting the center minutes for the Hornets. Milwaukee does kind of run small ball, so maybe it would be Hernangomez that picks up some extra run. He has been pretty solid here, so I think you could take a shot in GPPs. And yeah, I think that's about it. So again, a brief overview of the slate. If you think if enough value opens up, Napier's already like the value play that I'm locking and load in here. But if there's more value that opens up that you feel comfortable with, then just lock and load Harden GPPs. Everywhere cash games, just lock and load Harden. Just play Harden and you move on. GPPs, there definitely would be merit to fading him. A few of the game stacks I do really like. This Washington-Orlando game, the battle for New York, the Clippers-Chicago game, and Toronto-Houston, not really stackable because everyone's kind of expensive in that game, but pretty high over-under there. Charlotte-Milwaukee, I guess, you could do that. And then these three, not really stackable. So that's kind of my thoughts for the slate today. So if you guys have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. It really helps me out growing as a channel. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section down below. It's also important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I'll get my thoughts and more news comes out throughout the day. You guys can also ask me questions on Twitter. Whenever, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. And I'll be back for another video on Saturday. So I will see you guys then.